broken drum head.
I thought it would be good to start at the beginning.
Oh, how predictable.
The very beginning, where you were born, where you grew up.
Much of that I don't remember. I know, but I was born on the, we lived on the family farm near Higginsville, Ontario at the time, and went to the nearest hospital, which was in Hamilton, and moved to St. Catharines when I was about 4 or so. I had never been athletic. I never could play hockey. I skated on my ankles, which for a young Canadian kid, that's automatically like the hugest curse a young boy could have.
Well, he was, in those days, I used to say weird. He just read everything. He just read everything there was to read. He even had to learn to knit because he had to know how that was done.
It was horrible coming into high school once I got interested in rock bands and all that and started to grow my hair a little over my ears and wear bell-bottoms and all that stuff. The taunting in the hallways and even physical abuse out in the smoking area and the constant misfit sense. For any kid, especially a sensitive one, just wears you down. So that's why drumming became an instrument of self-esteem for me. This was the first time I was admired for anything, and that doubled my fervor about playing drums. Fortunately, I was in a very serious band at the time called J.R. Flood. We practiced all weekdays, and then weekends we would be playing high schools around Ontario or the Knights of Columbus halls. Summer of '74, I was working behind the parts counter for my dad at the farm equipment dealers, and this white Corvette pulled up.
A white Corvette doesn't pull up in the farm equipment dealership that often. They came and asked if they could talk to Neil and take him out to lunch, and I could tell as Neil came back the rest of the afternoon that he was really troubled with something. He told me then that these guys were the managers of Rush, and they wanted Neil to come over and audition, and he said, "I don't know what to do, Dad." And I said, "Well, two things. First of all, we'll talk it over with your mother. But secondly, as far as I'm concerned, this is your passion. This is all you have wanted all your life." And I said, "I guess there'll always be a parts department here, so I think you've got to go for it."
So I borrowed my mom's Pinto, so perfect, and loaded my drums into that and drove up to Ajax.
So the car pulls up with this kind of gangly guy with really kind of short hair. My first impression was that he was kind of goofy.
I remember thinking, God, he's not nearly cool enough to be in this band.
I had Rogers with two 18-inch bass drums and everything set up really high and kind of weird looking. And I was kind of weird looking.
And then he started playing them, and he pounded the crap out of those drums. I mean, he played like Keith Moon and John Bonham at the same time. And
I was blown away. As soon as he started playing, he's playing these triplets, and he was so good.
I think it's very common for musicians, especially in your early years, to feel that you totally blew it. And I had that feeling. I could have played better, I should have played better, all that stuff. But they picked me.